Hi guys, for this video I want to talk about what we're really talking about, and hopefully by the end of this video that will make more sense than what just came out of my mouth. But I've been reflecting on all of the activism that happened surrounding the Standing Rock and the Dakota Access Pipeline, and how that just came to a head, and the Army Corps of Engineers pretty much at the last minute decided, you know, we're not going to allow them to cross the river, and then the Standing Rock people celebrated, and they're still not sure that it's over because there's appeals and whatnot. And in the wake of that, there are some things that have been said on news programs and on YouTube channels, and some of these things, they kind of betray a different motive than what has been sold to us through the media narrative of, well, here's this Indian tribe that are trying to protect their sacred lands. Some of the things that I've picked up on are, well, they've been stopped here, so they might decide to go, try to cross the river at a different point, and we have to be ready for that to fight there too. And I'm like, wait, hold up a second. What if that other point that they're trying to cross is an Indian land? Is this not an Indian matter anymore? Is this not about sacred lands anymore? Is it more about just oil? And that's what I'm really getting at here. Was this Standing Rock protest really not about Native Americans at all? Was it more about climate change? Was it more about fossil fuels? Was it more about pollution? In general, because it seems to me that after this victory, looking at the problem that is left behind, the pipeline is not going to go across those Native American lands, but we're still going to get oil, right? We're still going to get gasoline in our cars. We're still going to use petroleum-based substances all over the place. We're still going to have all the plastics. It's going to be a thing, right? And so now that we don't have the reason to protest of Native American tribal lands and burial grounds and sacred places and whatnot, are we now moving on to the goal of getting the entire country off of fossil fuels and onto electric cars? Is that what's next? Does that necessarily have to be what's next? Do we have to face the realization that many people's support of the Standing Rock protest didn't have so much to do with their love of Native Americans, but had to do with their actual yearning to be free of fossil fuels and look towards the future? So I scratched my head on this for a little while, because I really feel like this is going to be a problem going forward. The alternative forms of energy that aren't as easy to get energy out of, the alternative forms of energy that don't give us as much reliability, we're looking at those for the future, because if we keep on using fossil fuels, I mean, here's a really big eye-opener. Just look at a cancer map of the United States, and then look at where all the refineries in the United States are. That's more telling than anything else. And even if you're a climate change denialist, you can still be in favor of clean water and clean groundwater and people not being exposed to carcinogens. So, on that note, I was thinking, beyond supporting that one tribe and that one pipeline being stopped, what could I do to really affect change in my country? Right? And I'm just a dude sitting in a lazy boy recliner in Denver, right? I'm just one guy. What could I do? And this is my best idea. And I thought for a couple weeks on this. It's my best idea on how to change our culture. And it goes something like this. So we've, in order to become more independent from foreign countries' oil, we've started fracking and drilling for oil in places that we couldn't before, and we're drill baby drill all over the country, right? And in a lot of these places, people don't realize that they don't own the mineral rights to their own land. Like they own the topsoil, but the mineral rights were split apart from the deed to their land a long time ago. And so in some instances you've seen that people that own the mineral rights will say, well, you need to give us easement. We need to be able to set up a fracking pad on your farmland because you don't own the mineral rights below it. And it could be in the future so lucrative that it gets close to even homes and towns and cities. So what would really scare people into seeing this problem and seeing fossil fuels as being maybe something we want to steer further away from? And my idea is we need to start with a database of every square inch of the country and who owns the mineral rights to it, right? And there already is a database that has like 30 states in it that is crappy and wouldn't be as extensive as what I'm saying right now. I'm talking about a database of all of it that's easy to use. People could just put in some grid coordinates and it would land on a map, and you would be able to see who owns the mineral rights below that topsoil, right? Once this was created, this one website with a database that was just huge with a whole bunch of data points in it, the next thing would be to get people to look up their own homes. And I'm thinking just a home-to-home mailing campaign. I know I'm gonna kill trees with this, but I do kill a lot of trees in my life. So just a blanket mailing, carrier route style, where we send to every household, hey, fracking is becoming a little bit more popular. The wave of the future is drilling for oil in your own home. Do you own the mineral rights for the home that you own? For the land that you're on? Do you know? Well, here's a website to look it up. And just that one step of giving people the information that the mineral rights to their property probably don't go along with the deed to their land, just that little bit might be enough to wake people up, enough to feed some other campaign that is for green energy or against fossil fuels. It's my best idea that I got, for something that someone at my level might be able to do. Don't know where I'd start, but if one of you out there wants to take this idea and run with it, fine. You have my blessing, because it does look like a lot of work, especially for the 20 states that aren't as easy to track as the 30 that are on the PLSS